The title of this message is a play on words in striking your sexual match, and the first thing that it means is to ignite the passion of your sexual relationship, to make it better than it is. And it is an important part of our marriage. The second, though, part of that means to take our natural differences and make them match and to be dynamic and intimate rather than dangerous and divisive. Our differences have the greatest potential of making our marriage bad or good. It's our differences. It's how we view our differences. Sex is the most graphic example of how we're different. And we're very different on many different levels. Genesis 1:27 says, God created man in His own image. In the image of God, He created him, male and female, He created them. And so He created us in His image, but very different, but we were created to match. When I was in college, I had a job in a hardware place. It was a huge hardware wholesaler. And my job was to pull pipe fittings all day long. That's all I did, was pull pipe and pipe fittings. So I knew every size of every fitting and everything by the end of that summer. But when I started, I didn't know anything. And I noticed one day on my order of all the things I was supposed to pull, it said female pipe fitting. And I thought, female pipe fitting, what does that mean? So I went over to this guy, and he was just a crusty, warehouse worker kind of guy, And he walked over, and I said, hey, what is a female fitting? He said, come here, kid. And he reached over and reached down this bin and pulled it out and said, that's a female fitting. You know why it's called a female fitting? And I said, no, why? And then he reached over and pulled a male fitting and put them together, and I thought, oh my gosh. Hardware people are perverts. And he fit them together there, and he gave me a little education right there on the spot. But here's what I knew about a female or a male fitting. It was incomplete without the other. If there was a male, there was a female, and if there was a female, there was a male, and you didn't have the whole unit until you had both of them. And that's exactly the way that it is with us. Where there's a female, there needs to be a male to be complete. That's what God said. It's not good that man would be alone. And I know there are some people that are called to be single, like the Apostle Paul. They're a very special group of people that God can use in a very special way, but most of us are not called to be that. We need each other. Sex also graphically demonstrates how dependent we are on each other. We need each other, and we're dependent. Third, our sexuality is just the most obvious of three differences that we have that have to match for sex to be the way that it should. We are body, soul, and spirit. We're not just bodies. We're not just sexual people. We are body, soul, and spirit. And when body, soul, and spirit all match together the way that they should, that's when sex ignites. And men and women both have problems in this. And the problem that men have is making it too physical. Is a lot of times men take sexuality into the realm of the physical, but they forget the spiritual and emotional realm of it. And when they do that, it frustrates their wives because there's more. A woman wants to feel as though that there's more to her than just her body. And her husband respects more about her than just her body. But let me say this, women also have a challenge in this area because women have a tendency to discount the importance of sex. Let me say, when men and women have sex, it's not just good for the marriage, it's good for both of them respectively. And I've read a lot of research on this issue. When a woman has sex, and it doesn't mean that you necessarily desired it at that moment, but when a woman has sex, all kinds of chemicals and hormones are released into your body that have a tremendously beneficial emotional and physical effect on a woman. You may not understand how much you need sex. I know your husband's been trying to tell you this, but I'm saying, and I'm on his side right now, but you need to understand, men have a tendency to say, well, we don't need to talk and we don't need to pray, we just need to have sex. Okay. Well, they're wrong.
Thank you for joining us. Experience the life-changing series Sex, Love, and Communication on CD or DVD. Follow your interests and get social by connecting with Jimmy and Karen and the Ministry of Marriage Today on Twitter. Marriage Today's latest book, Lifelong Love Affair, is an essential tool couples can turn to again and again for inspiration and strength. Order your copy today. Become a rock-solid partner today and equip yourself with the tools you need for a successful marriage. $14, $28, or $56 per month. Choose the partnership level that's right for you. Become a rock-solid partner today.